You're not sitting.
We have to move
You
this.
missed it. Zach missed it.
No, we have to move this.
Okay. So we're having technical difficulties because the computer is dead. So we're trying to find a cord. But I don't know who built this room, but all the outlets are up high for whatever reason. So
well,
it's really hard to plug things in.
But the outlets were already static in the garage.
Oh, you're not even going to take a little responsibility for building this room. Okay. But it's fine. Just sit.
No, Larry.
Doesn't Zach stress you out? Like, he's always like just sit down.
But I want to stand on. I want to stand up.
Just sit. What are you doing?
What I could do.
No, just sit. Okay.
But I can't because they're here. See.
You're being weird. Just turn your chair. He's
straddle.
purposefully being difficult, just so you can see in real life. There you go. Okay. Happy Tuesday, Zach.
One of these days we'll have a live start. That's
no.
Like,
I am always ready.
Hello, and welcome to the.
No, you're the one who makes it weird. I'm just sitting here waiting.
So I'm the. So this is actually a good segue. Who's the awkward one in your relationship?
Hey, I didn't say I wasn't awkward.
Oh no,
I said you're being awkward.
No, I'll be honest. You're not the awkward one. You never were. I've always been the awkward one.
Hey, you said it.
Even our first kiss was awkward.
Oh my God, so weird. So many missed opportunities.
Look.
By this man.
Look.
You have no idea. I mean, I just opened the door and was like, this is your chance. Multiple times. And every time he was like, sweaty hands.
Look. I am
so weird.
I am ridiculously awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Oh, so Mallory's on, Zach, and she has. I have to fill you in.
Mallory's on right now.
I have to fill you in on more fun email. Stuff going on.
Wait, like on live?
No, I'm not gonna fill you in live with the people. What if her neighbors are watching? I died. Don't worry, you guys. Her neighbors definitely don't watch. What are you doing?
I'm going live on my Instagram.
Okay, but you can't do that right now.
Sure I can. I just
no,
did.
Because I have to. You covered up the thing that I'm using, so I need you to move that. Okay. Sorry, everybody.
Right there.
Okay. So today we have a fun. Working at home, you can get like cooped up.
Yeah.
I guess. So we're going to go to a coffee shop today. And you're always invited to the coffee shop.
Even though I've already had like 17 cups of coffee.
You can get tea. And we just go and we just get some work done. So I'm going to get a few things done that I can do at a coffee shop. And if you work from home, you can just come
We like to
out.
say we're going to work at coffee shops.
No, I am.
I call it being distracted at a coffee shop.
No, last time we did not do very much. We did do, at least I got some stuff done. I don't think Zach got anything done, but I got some stuff done. But we hadn't seen Megan in a long time, so we were catching up. But today, since we just saw her, we don't need to catch up.
But I actually feel the opposite because I was actually in work mode because I'm kind of a diva when it comes to sleep, and I didn't have the best sleep that night. So I kind of wanted to just be like, I just want to. But now I'm like rested and well, so I might be the chatty Cathy tonight.
Please don't. I got stuff to do. So
why are we going to a public space?
We already got caught up last. We got caught up last time, so you missed your chance, I guess.
Okay. Well,
so anyway, we're going to. Oh, it's funny telling me what I did. Instagram's funny. I'm like, why are you telling me so many things? Okay. So anyway, we're going to do that.
Wait, hang on. We're letting more followers join your video since there's like one. Hold on. Wait, before you say anything important, let's try to get more people to join.
I noticed though, there's so many people going live at this time.
No.
Yeah.
Who?
Everyone else. I don't know. This is like the time.
Talking about the Love is Blind people?
No, I don't know. Do you follow those people? I don't follow those people. I think I follow Cole because he reminds me of you, and it's like, oh, Cole, don't worry, you're gonna grow out of this. You're gonna grow out of this phase.
Although some of his last lives were questionable at best.
He's 20-something's having a good time.
Well, let's talk about
just like you.
Let's talk about. I was a good guy. I was a good man.
I know.
I was just struggling.
You were just, up against some demons.
It's up against some demons.
So we are 2 weeks.
What are you referencing?
2, the workshop.
No, like
2.5 weeks.
No,
out.
3.
No, we're in that 3rd week right now.
Okay, wow.
So we're like 2.5 weeks
get
out.
To it.
Really excited about it, and we do these things before the workshop. They're not like assessments or anything like that. They're more like interview type, just to like see what's in the room. That's why when people are like, oh, it must be like some big thing, you can just like hop in. It's like, no, you actually have to like talk to you. And so we have those. People are scheduling those, and it's fun. I'm excited. I think they kick off like this Saturday.
Well, I think you had one today.
I shouldn't, because it would be too early.
I know.
Today.
I know. So
one today.
I think you did, but that's okay. We'll see.
I definitely don't. So anyway, they are fun because it's like
let's get back
to the workshop.
Let's get back to the awkwardness. Is that connection working okay? It keeps clicking out.
It keeps clicking out.
Yeah, it keeps freezing. But let's talk about the awkward stage, the awkwardness
of.
So your relationship. I want to know if you're watching this later, who is the more awkward one in your life? Like if you're in a relationship right now, in a committed relationship that's been together for more than a year, who is the more awkward one?
No, is a year long enough to get awkward?
No. What I'm saying is like we often joke.
Oh, there's a camera over there. Hey, how's it going?
Often joke sometimes about like I don't know what I would do. Like I think I would have a hard time. Like I'm lucky and blessed that you're in my life. You get and see me, because I think I would have a hard time. I would have a really hard time dating, like a really hard time. And I think yes you would. Why is that?
I don't know, you guys. For having 2 sisters, Zach is not very like how do I put this nicely?
I'm not. Yeah.
I feel like normally when guys have sisters, they are more.
I am in touch. Well, it's all about the family dynamic. It's all about the family dynamic.
I don't know how to describe it, but
it's individual personality, right? Plus the family dynamic and the concepts that you've created, those mental story loops, those habitual ways of thinking that I think can prevent a lot of things. But also sometimes I think I just when I want to be like romantic or serious, it comes across as like too serious sometimes, and it's like I'm trying too hard. So I have a hard time being like, I love you.
No, listen. Linda, listen. Okay. You guys have seen that? I'm not calling Zach Linda. You've seen that? Okay, anyway. Movies and Hollywood try to paint this picture of like what it looks like or what it feels like or something.
Okay.
And the truth is, it's just not like that.
You mean how you should
It's just not like that natural for people.
Well,
even when people are good at it, it's still like not. It's not like it's still not a natural thing. It's just not, and that's okay. That's like called biology and physiology.
Listen, it's worthwhile to notice the futility of dating in the sense of always trying to look good. Like if you notice. Mm-hmm. When you're first meeting somebody and you're like going out on a date, you go to dinner, you get coffee, doesn't really matter what it is. You make sure you look good. You put your makeup on, put your cologne, your perfume on. Mm-hmm. You specifically try to figure out the right outfit. Everything you do, all of the actions you take are in a way to look good and avoid looking like a goofball, or avoid looking stupid, or avoid looking bad. And even the topics you cover is about making sure you're tiptoeing around any potential landmines,
conversations you don't cover,
or don't cover, and you are devoted to making sure that any of that ordinary way of being, awkwardness, weirdness, doesn't pop up. Even things like your bad breath, or I don't know, maybe it could be anything. And but that starts to permeate. It's almost like you try to avoid the ordinary way of being related, which is basic upset and disappointment and things that like you don't really like. And I feel like when the one of the number one things that I encourage single people that are struggling with dating is like check their list of like things that have them exit that relationship in terms of exploring more. Like meaning, well, I won't date a guy if he's over 6'2" and under 5'9". I won't if he's in the military, then I'm out. Or if he is, or if I'm dating a girl and and if she is doesn't make this much money, or I want a woman that is this, and if they don't do that, then I'm out. And I feel like there's so many little, and we all know this. So I think I'm like this even when I meet with friends. Like there are certain things like if I say that one thing, then it's over. So you're constantly like tiptoeing around. And I think some of my awkwardness probably comes from a little bit of that, of like my concern of doing that one thing that crosses the line.
Mm-hmm.
That says, "Oh, I'm out," and then you lose like all the other potential behind all that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking like, it's almost like, what would I do if I had to like sit down right now and date somebody? It's like, hey, we're gonna meet up for coffee, but here's a list of everything that sucks about me, and then see what they say. But they might appreciate that.
We're always up. That was very long-winded. And I forgot what I was going to say. But what I will say is that we're always up to looking good.
Yeah.
At some capacity. Your version of looking good may actually be, I'm so not worried about looking good that I don't even care. Because that's how you want to come across. Because to you, that's what's going to be looking good. So leading with the victim, leading as the hero, leading as the villain, whatever, to you, that's how you want to be perceived or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you're up to something. Mm-hmm. And it's good to notice, because when you realize what you're up to, you have an opportunity there to like, what am I doing?
It's so funny. I just had a conversation with Scott about this for breakfast. And it was about, and he said it before we even like, I didn't even prompt him. And
what are you doing? Oh, that's your leg.
I know.
You guys, Zach's leg is like right, kind of like at my. No, you don't need to move the camera. No, it's fine. Oh. His leg is like, his knee is like right up against my lower back and the top of my butt, and I just thought you were like awkwardly like rubbing the top of my butt cheek. I was like, this is weird. Something weird's happening. Okay, anyway, you were talking with Scott, and what did he say?
And he was just talking about how we are constantly trying to fix, improve, and change things. And it was really interesting. He's like, when really, like, what's already there is possible. It's already accessible, and you don't have to like do anything to get something. Sometimes when you just like stop and just notice what is already there, I'm like started grinning like cheek to cheek. I'm like, yes, and it's just worthwhile. Like, because it's like, it's not that you shouldn't do anything or can't do anything or should avoid it, but it's like when you like, if like, I feel like that would be really hard for me if I started a date. I had to be really mindfully aware, right, what I'm doing to be perceived a certain way, but in doing so, how that's actually preventing me from being fully experienced.
Exactly. If you realize what you're up to, it's about noticing. We get really mad or defensive sometimes when somebody calls us out on something, right? When somebody says, you're acting this way, you're acting that way, or did you know that our original reaction is to get defensive, because like that's how we know, like, what's the problem? That's how we know ourselves. So like, I don't understand. But when you just like notice it, then you have an opportunity in your next interaction to make a difference. And maybe that difference or that change is a possibility for who you know yourself as. I always think of a job I had when I was in my early 20s, and it was really awesome, and I loved it so much. And I got to work with a great team of people and manage a lot of people, and it was so fun. And one of my bosses said, Sierra, you make people cry. Because I was really harsh, apparently. No, I was. But I never knew this about myself, because the job before this, I had to work with a bunch of people who were 10 to 20 years older than me. And it was a very different experience. And so I never got that feedback before, because in the position that I had at the previous place, I had to like get stuff done. And so when I got to this new place, and it was like, Sierra, like, what the information that you're giving is great. Also, how you deliver, it's important, because you keep making people cry.
Not the good kind of cry.
Now, it wasn't that what I was saying or what I was doing wasn't like the feedback that was necessary or what was like needed, right, for them to do their job well. It was really just in learning about taking responsibility over here on how I'm landing on other people, because if it's not landing over there, then it's very flat communication, right? So I could have, if I wanted to, get really defensive about it and just been like, whatever, they're not tough enough. They need to toughen up their skin and blah, 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 blah. If they want to work with me. Like, I could have done that. I probably would have gone fired. But I had an opportunity to notice, oh, it's like in moments like this. Oh, I didn't know. Some people are a little bit softer than me, and that's okay. It's not wrong. They're not wrong for it. It's good. And it's still a quality that I have learned to use when it's more appropriate, like in a workshop or something, or, like with, I don't know, when I need to use authority of some kind. It's a great skill, and take responsibility for it. There's a new way to like interact with it.
Taking responsibility with how you received. Yeah. It's like that. You know it's probably you when you hear the same feedback from multiple people too. It's an area that you can probably look at, because it's like the best way to be known is through a relationship, through that kind of mirror of being seen. Yeah, I think a lot of times what probably makes us cry though, like, yeah, I guess you take responsibility for making people cry, but probably one of the reasons they cried though is it did tap into something.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean. No, it doesn't. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You said it was it wasn't that it was wrong communication. It was in the learning how to deliver.
Well, I even in our relationship, a lot of our earlier upsets. Remember, I used to like hound you all the time.
You're like, your tone. And I'm like, just listen to the words.
I'm like,
big deal.
Tone. Yeah, but then also, it wasn't until like I think sometimes God gave really bad headaches to. Like, when I have bad headaches,
you had no idea.
When you have bad headaches, you're just like you don't have the capacity.
So how fun is this? How fun and funny. Most people know I share about this a lot with my health journey, that I used to have like chronic migraines, terrible headaches, all that. I mean, just terrible. And
terrible,
and just really bad inflammation, flare-ups, and all sorts of stuff. And they were chronic. Like, I would have them every single day for like 2 decades. And Zach never really like understood what that was like in his life. He had like 2 headaches. Okay. Like, no joke. He had like no idea what it was like. And so he just like couldn't understand like why I would be behaving or rude or short or whatever. It's because or in bed. I just like could not even process. I could process words, but to like also try to manage how they were coming out.
There was no relatedness.
Like, no. Which is probably why at that job I also made people cry, because I was just like always short. Anyway.
Yeah, that's actually.
It was probably why I did great at teaching some adults in class was because I really had no time for like pussyfooting around. Anyway,
pleasantries.
yeah. So I don't know, 10 years into our marriage, Zach starts getting like chronic headaches. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna die. I'm like, yeah, it's really debilitating.
It is tough.
So
Appreciation.
it was, yeah, you had a new insight, a new lens into, oh my gosh, this really does suck. How do you function like this?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I don't think you can really ever fully
God,
appreciate.
sometimes.
Yeah. I don't think you can really ever. There's a sense of closeness and connectedness. I mean, just the headaches too, but like sometimes you kind of think back, like, wow, like we joke sometimes, and I know there's probably people that will listen to this being like, how did we end up here?
Yeah.
But like, but on the good side, because I think you could ask that same question on like
Yeah,
the negative
yeah,
side of like, how do
yeah.
we get to this point? But the same can be said, how did you get to this point? And
Yeah.
it's not like we are all sunshine and rainbows, but there's a sense of like doing hard things changes the way you think about your ability to do hard
Yeah.
things.
Mhm.
And I think in your relationship, transcending hard things, transcending the ordinary, going beyond what is inherent problem, kind of changes the way I think about our relationship and our
Mhm.
ability to take on. So I think in the past it was more like an avoidance. Like I would
Yeah,
say
so
there's
yeah,
what we were
yeah.
up to is like how do we avoid
How do we avoid handling the
how do we
hard
avoid
things?
handling hard things in
Yeah.
our relationship?
Yeah,
How do we
moving through the hard
how
things.
do I do something to not get into a breakdown with Sierra?
Mhm.
And now I don't feel like I'm having to like avoid obstacles.
Mhm.
It feels like more like we're playing, and then
Right.
we know an obstacle will come up.
Right, because once you get through and actually look at and start working with the hard thing, and then you're on the other side of it, and it's transcended now into this other creation in your relationship. It's like, oh, something else can be thrown your way that is hard. And I don't have a whole lot of worry. Actually have a lot of confidence in our relationship, who we are together now, having done those hard things together.
Well, parent is what you label an experience as fear changes over time, and that list of items of what makes you fearful is also changes over time. What the heck is going on? Here, we're back.
Yes.
Well, and so what I mean by that is like, for example, if we were confronted with a situation to move, yeah, out of city or out of state, the language, what makes one couple be like, hey, you know what, like this is going to be kind of crazy, but hey, let's have the adventure, and then another couple will be like, and live in this sense of despair and breakdown and like upset, and like, is it because is it why is that? Is it just a story they're telling themselves, or is like it's worthwhile to see like what is kind of bubbling up? Like what is like the story you tell yourself? What is that like? What's that growing from?
Well, I don't even know if it's so much the story you're telling yourself as much as it is the actions that you're taking inside of the story that you're living into.
Yeah.
We coach every week and we've been doing this for almost 15 years. And in this particular circle and coaching couples, we have seen countless couples move through hard things. And every time, I'm very confident, every time something hard comes up, these couples are taking action together to move through it, as opposed to not doing something that's hard in their relationship. Because the easy way out is to not do the hard thing. It's also quickest way to end a relationship, because life is hard sometimes. It brings things up that are hard. It's the internet. It's the internet. And it doesn't really get you anywhere or different results, because as a couple, as a relationship, you then don't actually know how to navigate hard things. So if you have kids, if you get stranded in Europe, whatever it is, that process, it doesn't matter how big or small the hard thing is, that actual process of doing something hard, you are unfamiliar with. So regardless of what the hard thing specifically is, you know what it's like at all, or like what the template is. So now you're up against what is going through something and the actual hard thing. So it's like twofold. It's like a double whammy. If I change the internet, great.
Just
So
he's currently offline live.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're back
there
on.
we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hardwire it later.
Some of you guys are on Instagram. You frozen faces on Facebook right now. It's really...
Does it always freeze on an ugly face? It's like
yeah, it never freezes.
Let's do it. Hey, ready? Let's do it. Oh, let's do a good freeze. Ready? Like internet connection. I did it. I was talking.
Oh.
And then what normally happens is this. That's what,
your eyes are closed. It's like mid-sentence. Like,
or like you're drunk and you're like,
yeah, like those pictures where you like haven't eaten at all and you look like
and,
most sloshed person.
And you're like, hey, say cheese, and you're like, hold on, wait. You're about to like put your hand up, and it looks like you're
mid blink, and it's like, ooh, that
guy is faster.
Yeah, oh we went to Cancun and we took these boats, and everybody was doing tequila shot and all sorts of fun stuff, and I don't drink, so I was not partaking. And Zach took this picture of me, and I was sweaty, and we're like on a dock, and I was sweaty because it was hot and like humid.
And you were mid blink too.
And I was mid blink, and I looked like I had stepped. He took a picture, and like all this, and I looked like I stepped off the boat, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
We have that photo somewhere.
We do. It is like the worst. It looks like it honestly looks like I'm like drunk karaoke without any karaoke.
Right.
Like that's
we gotta do a post about that. Like, tell me a time or post a photo if you have it of you looking like you're plastered, or even you're stone cold. All right, I'm gonna do that.
People delete photos of the thing.
Flag this audio clip.
We asked we did. We asked people to share. Nobody did. Everybody's like, I'm not posting that.
Why not?
I even have to post those photos. Not good.
I'd be like, just lie and just post a photo of you actually plastered. I'm just over here. All the friends are like, liar.
Lie.
Oh my god.
That's funny. Well, what do you think?
I don't know. What do you
I'm thinking about me. Yeah. But other than that. Yeah,
I kind of wish. Sometimes I wish it was like. I wish people could like ring in and like ask a.
They can't just commenting. People must be sleeping.
Yeah.
You can always ask a question later. We'll talk about it. One question that we did actually, I'll say this, and maybe we should bring these to tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
Is some of the questions we posted a question the other day in our stories, and fill these out when we post them because we'll talk about them. So it was like how what is going well in your relationship that you experience happening, or what is missing, and if it was there you would be happy. And there was a few other questions like that, and some are really great. Some are like something that some relationships were doing really, really well was being patient with each other. And then other things were things like that we heard was like feeling really heard, like feeling heard, right?
Yeah.
Not just heard like I hear what's coming out, excuse me, but like really gotten. I think there is a distinction there. People want to be heard, their requests, whatever, but I think what people really want is to really be gotten, really be understood as like a being over there and not just a request maker over there. So we should chat about that tomorrow.
Let's do that. We said Thursday. I'm like, what's happening on Thursday? Yeah, we're taking a break tomorrow.
Yeah, Wednesdays we have like client support Wednesdays. Fun.
Got a clever word. It's like Wednesdays week link. No, that's the wrong. Wednesdays. Wednesdays waits. Wednesday.
You don't actually.
But
Nope.
I want to.
Okay.
Well,
Well, we gotta get going.
30-minute mark. That's great.
Yep. We gotta get going. Pack our stuff up.
All right.
Get out of here.
But
no.